Welcome, brave souls all. I am your GM in the Great Barrier, and we are starting our current session, Star Trek Adventures Broken Sword. We are on part 5 of today's adventure, Qulpu, juHDaq yIleH. When last we left off, the crew has been taking sanctuary on the world of Mektor, the seat of the House of Cord. Tabok's family has also been present, whom he has had the opportunity to reunite with, and whom the rest of the crew has gotten to meet, I think, for the most part. The major revelation that could affect the destiny of the house, and by extension could impact the crew quite significantly, is that Tabok's brother, Tabor, has been conducting secret negotiations with the juHDaq Guild. They are, in essence, both one of the strongest of the merchant houses in the Klingon Empire. They are also a unifying trade guild so ubiquitous and so present in other industries that they just have tremendous reach throughout the Empire. The negotiation appears to be to set up a way station, which the negotiator from the guild, Hashok, has told the captain essentially would give them the opportunity not just to extend their reach a little more in the Empire, but because of its location near the border of the northern borders of the Empire, essentially, it opens up the ways to possibly trading with certain independent worlds, with reaching out to the Orions in the borderlands, or even possibly further out and seeking some goods from the Federation. It's a wily maneuver on their part, and one that could bring great wealth to them, but most especially to your family, Tabok. As you've taken the night to mull it over, you had also invited the crew to join you for a meal at the manor. Bulk of the crew was there. Some elected to stay behind, and by and large, it was a pleasant evening. The night has passed. Everyone is now well rested. But before that night truly went away, Captain, you felt like you had a decision ready to make, and one that will favor both sides. So, before the deal is signed, you decided you are going to call the crew together and see about essentially meeting up, telling them what was to happen. So let us cut over to the mess hall. Conveniently, we actually have pretty much everybody there. But let's start off with the dining hall, lit to its standard dull reddish orange. The galley door is presently open as Traven is getting the last bits of a meal together. The rest of you have had an opportunity to assemble after receiving word from the captain. Just about all of you are pretty well situated, pretty well rested. The only exceptions there would probably be Azek and Vopri, who had a very long night trying to find out why the computers bugged out on them. Anything that any of you would be doing in particular right now?
Kressik's just there at an unusually reasonably on-time hour. But just drinking water, the usual.
The usual.
Clean, cold water.
Oh, yes.
Yes. You can
Loving
appreciate
that
Fresh. Oh, Tabok sewer.
You can appreciate, Doctor, that Traven has really been doing quite a bit with the filtration and mineral content so as to make the water as best suited to your purposes as possible.
Roman dirt water. My favorite.
It's called Perrier, and it's artisanal. Thank you.
Vopri likewise is enjoying the clean water. As Traven bustles about in the kitchen, I'll just let the door open. Captain, you step through and you see the crew
Ah, you are all here. Good. I have news. Where is Traven? In the galley?
It's like, sorry, Cap, just be one moment. He calls out from the galley. A very delicate phase, trying to get this as properly rare as possible.
Fine. When you come in, bring me blood wine. In fact, bring blood wine for anyone here who will drink it.
Krithik gives a, not Krithik, Jesus, Crocker gives a very big smile. How generous of you today, my captain.
Oh, and Traven, the good stuff.
Yeah.
The really good stuff.
A sign that we're getting good news.
A few minutes will elapse as Traven finishes up. There's the smell and from the sounds and smells in the kitchen. Traven has some dishes that are at work, and for lack of a better term, what he comes out with is going to be a sort of breakfast scramble. That is to say, there will be a fried cooked tuber, sliced and sliced up into strips and made golden brown. We'll say with notes of red from its native coloring, because we need strange alien food here. There is also strips, basically, of rare meat for those that would partake. If anyone prefers their meat cooked, which might be the case for, say, Zionol and maybe the Gorn, then that would be the case. Vopri obviously goes vegetarian. There's an array of very colorful cooked vegetables and possibly like some fruits mixed in, something to give it a very something that puts off a very savory and spicy smell with just that hint of sweetness. And it's all arranged very colorfully on the plate, but meant to feature the scramble, essentially. Traven will do that. He will also break out the barrel of blood wine and scoop in everybody's individual mugs for those that would partake. For those that would do so, I'll ask, who's drinking blood wine?
Clearly me.
Yep. I guess the better question,
Me?
who besides Vopri isn't?
Krithik isn't.
Fair enough.
I will be drinking a little bit, but not my usual drunkard self,
Yes.
because I'm on duty.
Because you have responsibilities.
Responsibilities.
Azek is best first officer.
For now.
Anyway. So yeah, with everyone seated, Traven is going to stand by the door. I think he's going to roll a tray to set something up to where he is. He has food and drink at the ready, but he first is basically standing over all of you in anticipation of your meal and making sure that it is to everyone's satisfaction. If you like, I can roll for Traven just to see how well that he did. A fluff roll.
You don't
Do
have
it.
to. Okay. Overruled. I have been overruled. Go for it.
I love him, but I want to see him fail.
Fair enough.
Ruin the captain's morning. See what happens.
And before
You
we
bring
get
me the food.
before we get the
Yeah, my
results
God,
of that,
he's
I have a quick thank you to one Storm Fox McLeod for raiding in 5 times in the past few minutes. That's strange, but hey, welcome aboard. We are doing some Star Trek adventures here. So a Klingon-themed tabletop game here. Hope you are enjoying tonight, and tell us about what you're doing in the chat. While all that's going, if you want anything else, there is if you are not already following us, you feel free to run that. Get some moopsies that way, among other things. It also helps me with the follower goal. But while all that is going, let me just get to the chat. Okay. With one success, it might not be the most... So I think Traven was feeling a little experimental this morning, given the news for something urgent. I'd say that maybe the seasoning or like something about it doesn't quite mesh what he's going for that style of dish, but it's still, I'd say, on balance, it's pretty decent. The blood wine will quickly make you... or it'll enhance the meal, I'm sure. Or at least make you care less about it.
I was gonna say, yeah, just make everybody care less about food. I'm not eating the food. I'm just here to. I have food at home. I have food at home.
Yep.
Oh my god.
Oh, you're not taking the food that Traven set for you?
I'll pick at it.
Very good.
Rudeness.
He used to sleep in a real bed at home.
With my wife.
A real metal slab.
And the food that his wife doesn't cook.
So, yeah, everybody starts digging in. It seems to be a pretty tasty affair.
It's
And yeah, a few minutes elapsed. Good.
it tastes better when my wife beats the cook and not me.
Anyway, Tabak takes his chalice and says, "Papa, glory to my house. And glory to my crew."
Yes.
Yes. Glory to the house.
My house will be joining forces with the Supplet Guild. There will be glory and cash for all.
What is this cash you speak of?
Money.
Ah,
Have I heard anything about this guild?
Let's see. Go ahead and give me a reason plus command roll. I am positive that you did, but this would help quantify what's doing that.
Alright, give me a sec. I'm just booting up my character sheet. And I have augmented ability reason,
That would fit.
which
That would...
increases my complication range by 2.
Excellent.
And I do not have anything that would apply, right? No. What's it called?
Focuses.
No
and
focuses?
I don't believe so, no.
Okay, perfect.
And that is one success.
Which
That is-
becomes 2 because of augmented ability.
Right. That is also a complication. So,
Yes.
first thing to ask with that natural 20 on the board, do you wish to accept the narrative complication, ignore it, and allow the GM to take 2 threat, or to buy that off with the 2 momentum you have just, well,
Okay,
really
let me give you a counter offer. I'll let you buy it off with 2 threat. So you can spend 2 threat and get rid of this complication for us.
That's a terrible bargain. You've critically failed on that.
Okay, I was just checking. You know, I figured I
No,
should
no,
give you
no.
the offer.
Now, if you have less threat, then we'll be more risky in the future.
Exactly.
The quartermaster tries to bargain with God.
I thought we were Klingons, not Ferengi.
Look, it's really fun painting this fence white. I think you should enjoy it.
Thank you, Mr. Finn.
Okay, so I'll go with a narrative complication for Kresic here.
Okay. Sorry, I thought you were rolling for Zional. Never mind.
I was not rolling for Zional.
Okay. Yeah, so Kresic, as far as you know, you have probably had to interact with the Shotloth Guild several times in your journeys through the Empire, just because they are the most, they're like the most ubiquitous entity, commercially speaking. They have their hands in a lot of different things. Your ships were probably at least one of the ships you traveled on before you found yourself to Quotacore was likely constructed in one of their yards and fueled up by their antimatter. You, you wouldn't have ever had the opportunity to interact with their higher ups, nor would you have any, nor would, as with most day-to-day Klingon politics, would it have affected you very much. You basically know they are a major entity. They are of pretty good reputation, I would say. The one thing that kind of functions as a point against them would be that these are, or that some in the Empire treat them with disdain, would be that a lot of what they employ, they work with juHDaq in quite considerable measure. So, the extreme traditionalists and some of the great houses regard them as lesser in that sense. And 2 successes, I think that's about as far as we'd get.
Gotcha. What was the difficulty of the roll?
I never told you, just as I didn't tell the captain when he tried to remember.
Okay.
So,
Because he didn't want us to feel bad when we failed.
I just wanted to know how many floating momentum I could use for obtain information spends, but if I don't know the difficulty, then I can't.
I'm going to say there is a pool of 5 right now, or it should be 5 right now. So the counts are now accurate. That's 5 momentum and 16 threat for the GM. And we are, that's about where we are. Tabak, you've just announced that you're making the deal with the Shatloff Guild. Much glory and Darsex ensue.
Or they should.
Yes.
One of my first plans is to give Dion a complete overhaul and update. And if things go the way I think they may, I may be spending less time on the ship. I'm not 100% certain of this, but it is a good possibility. All of you have been valued and loyal members of this crew. And I will do everything I can, within reason, to reward you for your loyalty and your service. And I've pledged the services of my house to you as much as you have pledged your services to me. Hopla. And then another toast. That was my speech.
Yay.
Here, here, and take a drink.
Captain.
Kabla.
Captain, does this mean that would you be hiring on a new captain, or would Azek be taking over in your place?
I would not want to replace Azek. Azek would probably go from first officer to captain, assuming nothing else changes. I, as owner of the ship, would still supersede him. Just wanted to put that out right now.
I look over at Vopri and kind of a tired look. I don't know if the ship likes me, but it's nice to know that the captain kind of does.
You mean the ship doesn't like you?
I'd tell you about the glitches we ran into on the bridge while you guys were gone. Screen's going blank for me, nobody else. There was a slight shock to your chair that I tried to figure out what it was. I assume static electricity or some dumb thing like that, but yeah, we tried to figure out what was going on, and when you came back, all the problems disappeared. So more investigation is necessary, I think.
Currently, the ship is a ship. It doesn't have likes or wants.
Shh! Don't say that near the ship.
We're in the ship.
I know.
Didn't you engineer this ship to like you, Captain?
No, I engineered the ship to not work for anybody but me. There's a slight difference.
A slight difference.
Slight difference. And of course, if Azek becomes the captain, then of course those systems will be essentially tuned to him rather than myself.
Hear that? I kind of lean over towards the bulkhead. Hear that, ship? You're going to have to like me. We're going to have to get along.
And whoever becomes the new first officer.
We will also be bringing on. I also want to fill all crew positions. I need to find people. I will need to find people from my world who are qualified.
You got kids. We can train them.
I am not going to put my children on board this ship.
Wise. Very wise.
Full security teams, full engineering teams, full teams for everything, finally.
Well, remember, the ship only carries a crew complement of about a dozen.
Teams for everything.
Does that mean we're going to get our transporter fixed?
I'm wanting to fix everything. Transporters, get the shields updated, get the disruptors updated.
Replace the scrap metal that composes 40% of our hull.
Exactly.
Cement mixer.
Extra duct tape for engineering and the bridge.
Yep. Stock up
New
on
lab.
spare parts. Update Kressik's laboratory. Update Kressik's sickbay systems to his own specifications. Assuming Kressik, you wish to remain on board.
We will see.
Traven actually perks up a little at that. Well, we'll be bringing on new crew then, of course, as you said, Captain Tabak. Tell me, I guess, for those of us that wouldn't necessarily look to stay here, would there be, I don't know, positions, or would there be places for us here on this world?
Tabak just sort of stares at him for a second. You can see he actually sort of chews his tongue as he looks at you and considers this request.
Not right away. I mean, I think that... speaking for myself, I think that there's still more of the galaxy I'd like to see, more of the culture I'd like to taste, he says, as he waves his hand over his food. And certainly a lot more to learn, but, I mean, for one thing, if you ever needed a new head chef, I would be greatly honored to serve at your disposal here. If that's not the case, I'll serve the next captain that comes through here, and you whenever you wish to come aboard.
My household chef is the 4th generation to serve my house in that capacity. It would be dishonorable to replace him. No offense to you, Traven. It simply would be unseemly for me to do so.
Traven will nod and say, oh, I understand, Captain. I just had to ask. You know, serving under you has been a tremendous honor and privilege.
Your food has been good. I have certainly appreciated it. So, not the things I don't want to talk about. Those were horrific.
Yeah.
But everything else, fantastic.
Yeah. So, these points aside, is anybody else, if not saying anything right away, does anybody have a noticeable change in demeanor as they digest this news from the captain?
Raldor's in a better mood.
Kresic does not seem too enthused about this. And he's just staring into his clear, cold water, digesting this information himself.
Did someone say something and cut out?
What I have texted? What is happening? I was away. What's going on? I missed something dramatic.
The captain has announced that he is taking a deal, or like he's about to take a deal with the big Klingon trading guild, the Shotlauf Guild, and that because of that, he's about to have a lot more cash on hand. People will get paid. Jan's going to get upgraded, but he's probably going to hire out new crew and allow the Jan to be basically run without him.
Yeah, additional.
You son of a bitch!
Additional.
How dare you! I'm leaving! I bare my soul to you, and this is how you treat us! And he's gone.
He's leaving.
Okay.
Croker just storms off angrily and out the door.
Zionel watches Croker go, gets up, bows to the captain, and says, I'll go deal with this. And he heads off as well.
Finally, Traven can sit in a chair and doesn't have to stand to eat.
Poor Traven.
I gotta clean up some of this first, he says, moving aside the mess that is what Croker had left behind.
After he metaphorically flipped the table.
Yeah.
Roll for the table to flip retroactively.
You
Well,
can't lift the table.
You can't flip that table. It's sort of bolted to the deck.
Bet he could.
Woe might, but not Croker.
How dare you? She could.
Yeah, she could.
If she can kick open doors, she can lift a table.
Yeah, doors that are pressure doors, that can resist vacuum.
Yeah. The joke's on you. I'm just envisioning it as a hard enough kick to the door, signaling the door to open, or like triggering the locking mechanism, as opposed to like the things shooting out necessarily, or as if they were hinged.
There's at least one hinge door on the ship, and that's the one that gets kicked in constantly.
The
It
dents.
It just
Like
exists
springing.
for somebody to kick.
I like to
Klingon
imagine
kicking door.
you guys have installed those boing things that are door stoppers everywhere.
Except they're Kazin sized. So
Yeah,
it's like
you just in the middle of the night you hear
cone.
boing, boing.
They're also spiked.
Yes.
This is
So
a
you're saying
Klingon ship.
You're saying they'd be good enough to act as suspension for a pickup truck?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's actually probably part of the new suspension system on the Yan.
Time for interrogation. Pull out the door stopper.
Oh God!
Oh no. Okay. So
Anyways, Kresic is just going to, after a moment's reflection, he's just going to ask, and what do they want?
They're someplace to land, someplace to do business, a way station. We see a lot of possible expansion economically. They have always been an honorable house and an honorable guild.
Expansion will bring attention,
Yes.
not all good.
No, not always. Profitable.
I see.
Then it will bring strength back into my house. That's why I've done everything I've ever done. Bring glory and strength back to my house.
So long as they do not try to control it.
The terms of the agreement are very good. And my wife and I, we have gone over every line, every thought, we've gone over it in detail. There doesn't seem to be a way for them, aside from bringing in troops, to take advantage of my house. Which was why I had you scan their ship in orbit.
Well,
To make sure they weren't a troop carrier.
indeed not. We could verify personnel levels are fairly standard, and Rondar and I, we reviewed the sensor logs or possible retcon. I don't remember if that was Raldar or Azek that was there.
Isaac.
It was
Okay. Azek and I reviewed the sensor logs. Best as we can discern, it seems to be some sort of industrial equipment.
They wish to build a small spaceport away from mine and warehousing for storage. I will be keeping a very close eye on anything they build and anything they have. While I trust them to a degree, my time as captain of the Yan has basically taught me not to trust anybody totally until they have proven themselves. As you, my loyal crew, have done.
I do not like it. But I don't have to. It's not my job.
Thank you for your support, Kresic.
Thank you? Question mark?
Traven will raise his mug once more and say, "Well, the decision was yours, Captain, and I wish you great success, glory, and honor from this deal."
Applause! And I hold up my mug yet one more time.
Kapla!
Blah, blah.
If anybody's noticed, or is even looking, I have not yet refilled my mug. I'm just sipping.
Mm-hmm. So, let's see. Before we get too far into this, or possibly finish up the scene, I should ask, let's see, if we break away from this, Croker and Zional, would the two of you, or would you, well, I guess, Rev, Ray, would the two of you want to run, a Zional and Croker scene, or would you just like to say that they have a discussion off-screen, basically?
I'm fine with doing something if Ray wants to.
I'm fine with doing a scene.
Okay. I can give you a few moments to, think about it. I just wanted to, yeah. I know it was a kind of offhanded thing, so I wanted to make sure that, we had something good basically set up.
Oh, it won't be good, but we'll have it.
Oh, I have something in mind. Don't you worry. Don't you worry.
Very good. Well, before we...
PvP?
Let's see. Before we move over, I guess I'll ask Captain, would you want to would you want to hang around for a little bit longer and enjoy the meal with the crew, or are you off earlier than the rest? Because we can wait basically for you to head off or to do anything with that until
I'm going to go back to the house, and I'm going to go home and sleep with my wife.
it's morning, but okay.
I'm going to go home and sleep with my wife.
Okay.
I see.
Okay.
Make up for lost time.
It's been a couple of years.
I gotcha. Anyway, as the captain just gives Croker more reasons to be agitated. Although to be fair,
Croker and the captain had a little heart-to-heart.
yeah, I think that after
I can still be mad about it.
So the response is a little surprising.
Yeah, man, you can't have your cake and eat it too. He's gonna stop flirting with you, but he's not gonna stop being dedicated to you.
Yeah.
Get over yourself.
Ooh.
Tell you what. Let's before we leave off. Well, Captain, if you want to depart the scene under those circumstances, you can do so. I won't have you loudly announce that you're going off with for the express purpose, but we can otherwise revisit that later. That is to say, when you leave the kitchen or mess hall. Yeah.
Roll fitness plus command, if you know what I mean.
I don't want to know any of what you mean.
I don't have to roll to be fitting this in where it's supposed to go.
Damn it!
I just realized the poor little clone Dar hasn't seen the sty yet.
Oh no!
Maybe he needs a little trip outside.
Oh,
Take him outside, preferably into the captain's quarters.
Oh no!
Oh wow!
Not ready for that. He's too young.
No.
I mean, the captain's not going to his quarters, so, and possibly not for the foreseeable future, so it wouldn't make much difference. It just becomes Dar's new living arrangement at that point. But I'll tell you what, we'll revisit that in a moment. While first we go out and visit with, or we go down the corridor as Croker storms off.
The gall of that man to do me this so dirty. Not even in a sexy way. He slams his fist against the paneling wall.
You know, you really shouldn't slam these panels so much. They are quite expensive, you know. And I just pop up right behind Croker.
Croker slams not Cressix, fucking Zionol into the wall instead. Is that better? Does that work for you?
Medical treatment is free here, so I suppose it is cheaper.
He lets go of Zionol and takes a step back. My apologies. You were just being yourself. Whatever that may be.
I'm always myself.
An admirable quality.
But you don't seem to be yourself right now.
How so?
You're a little more, and please forgive me for being so direct, irritable than normal.
He ponders for a second. I am not always a jealous man, but I am one of passion. And that has been ignited with me every time the captain has glanced at me. We had our, not quite dalliances, but something very akin to that. And then we, shut up. And then we had a, damn it. Why did you have to make a noise? Okay. Fuck, I forgot what I was saying. Oh,
We had our dalliances, not
had
quite.
our dalliances, something akin to that. But I thought we were clear, and I thought moving forward there would be a fort to move toward. But it appears not. All of my yearning and pining and wanting. Gone. Gone. He's just like staring into space now. Still holding to the front of Zionel's whatever he's wearing.
Yes, very sad. So you think the captain's making a mistake, do you?
Of course! I am not someone who is going to suggest any man to leave his wife and children, or child, whatever the case may be there. I don't know, I wasn't paying much attention, but I definitely don't think whoever he's dealing with is worth dealing with.
GM, can I roll for Zionel's knowledge of the guild now?
Okay. So, Zionel, you wanted to roll on the guild info.
Yes.
That'd be reason plus command. And likewise, Croker.
Would my focus is in equipment requisition or negotiation work here?
I think equipment requisition would apply.
Two successes.
All right. Okay. So your knowledge base is about where everyone else's would be. Zionel, in your case, it kind of makes sense that you probably don't go quite as far with them, or like you don't know the intricacies of them because you've felt a little more comfortable in the shadows for varying reasons. And the practical thing there is that you can work with some legitimate businesses, some of it by necessity, but other, you're a little more informed on norms of additional, less widely known clientele, let's say. For your part, Croker, you're just so... you are just, your pockets are so full that you toss out money that you barely notice anything. I imagine Croker, with what we've established, is, 5 steps away from being Lucille Bluth and saying, how much does a banana cost? $10?
I like this. I like the fact that he's just moneybagged McGinty. Of course, Zionel's gonna go comfort him.
Yep. So, but yes, I
Thank you.
think before we did that roles, we were establishing Croker doesn't like the people that you're in business with.
I have to say that I am inclined to agree with you. You see, there's something comforting when you work with a group that's always ready to betray you, like I've always done with my business dealings. You know how far you can push them and when to stop. These are too unknown of an entity to me. So you want to prove that the captain made a mistake?
Oh, don't fuck this up for me. I'll have to murder more people.
He reflects. Hang on, honey. He reflects the other man. Are you a man?
Male, humanoid looking
Okay.
ish. Yes.
The other person's proposal. We would not do anything untoward or unsavory to expose this.
No, we just need to ask some questions. Do some digging. Find out who exactly it is the captain is getting in bed with.
His eyes alight with fire at that wording.
He said that on purpose.
Yeah, word choice. Phrasing.
Slams his fist. He slams his fist above the Lionel's head on the paneling. Yes, we will find out who exactly these bastards are.
I like this. Of course, we may need to loosen some tongues along the way.
We'll cut them out.
No, my angry friends. I'm thinking more of the soluble sort of convincing. I have sources, but they're going to take well, they're going to need to get paid for their information.
Croker's head hangs low, and he breathes directly into Zionel's face. How much do they need?
And that's where I think we can cut the scene.
Yep.
Good choice.
With the tail end note of saying with the whole Croker and Zionel bit hot.
Hot.
As Zionel just starts to grin as soon as he says, "How much do they need?"
I could see it all.
Yep. So let's see. Back in the mess, Captain, you've been enjoying a leisurely meal with the rest of the crew. For whatever their changes in demeanor have been, things do seem to be a bit of a bright spot at the moment. So,
Yep, and that's of course when everything will come crashing down later on on the blissfully unaware characters.
yes.
Oh, yeah. Don't agree with me. Damn it. I hate you. Oh.
No, you. I mean, when you say something like that,
I know.
Yep.
Uh-oh. Oh Lord. Evil monkey paw.
I really need like a monkey's paw emote or something like that. So that is a thing that happens too much in the Discord. It might be the GIF I have used most frequently. In any case, Captain, that finger hasn't curled inward so far as you know. Your meal was okay, the blood wine is delicious, and you are about to be a very wealthy man.
Yep, Yep.
And Moretti waits for you at in the manor.
Yes, in the manner that I wish to grow accustomed to. Yes.
Yes. So, would you want to part from the crew at this point?
Yep.
All right. So,
I'll say my goodbyes and head on home.
All right. Yeah. So Tabak does as he says here and leaves off. Traven setting about to clean things up. Is anybody else immediately leaving?
I'll help Traven clean up.
I gotcha. Yeah, Traven
That
will.
would be a sight to see.
Yeah. He'll actually, as he's getting food together, and as you were taking at least your plate, he says, "Oh, Azek, actually, I've got a question for you. More a favor. I can handle the volume of cleanup here, but there's one other thing that I wanted to do and just hadn't gotten around to. The last bit of the meal I'm prepared here," he gestures to a plate that is like well sealed, like up there. If you could manage, if you could actually bring that down to the prisoner, I wanted to make sure that he was properly fed and seen to.
We have a prisoner.
Oh, well, this is a strange situation. For once, Kresic isn't the last person to know something.
Ha! He slams his drink down.
You got a laugh out of the doctor.
Yeah,
Damn.
no. Sorry, just weird experience, he says. As he continues to stack plates and utensils in such a way as to efficiently get it going. No, it's one of the Creel that was hunting after Raldar, and that, as I understand it, did he, like, get eaten in whole or parts, or, like, how'd that all work out? I didn't stick around for that.
I mean, Tresic would know the most about the condition.
Yeah, what was the condition?
Um,
And
the-
what have I done?
The prisoner you managed to basically stitch him back together. He had considerable head wounds and some trauma there. He had other bits of scarring, but you were able to regenerate that tissue and
He's all better
tissue
now.
and flesh. Yeah, he's all better. Slight vocal cord damage, but you managed to repair that. There's unusual accent changes that have come with that. Inexplicable, but could be. It could have as much to do with the brain trauma as the vocal cord repairs he affected. But he has been okay enough to even move around a bit. Your experiences with Traven kind of gave you a crash course in emergency tissue and emergency tissue generation, or regeneration in this case, particularly after wounds inflicted by Dar.
Good for future reference.
Yep. It does also help the Creel was apparently able to actually hold Dar off, something that Traven was not able to do, and realistically would not be able to do right now.
The damage was moderately extensive. I adapted some regenerative cells from my own work and managed to restore most tissue functionality. Slight cerebrocranial damage should heal with time. Surprisingly fast healing for a soft skin species. I look at Traven. Is it liquid enough?
Oh,
The food.
the
Can he drink it through a straw?
Basically,
He
yes.
looks at Ben and says, I mean, I gave him solid food yesterday. Was I not supposed to do that?
He's already eating solid food.
Yeah. He didn't say no to it, and he finished his plate.
And I was not called for a medical emergency. For the first time. In what? A week? A month? 2 years? Good. Then it will be fine.
Azek just has a confused look on his face, like, what the hell's going on?
Oh, I love it. But
Yeah, I'll go feed him, I guess. I go to the mess hall and pick the longest spoon just in case.
Yep. Says, well, you're not going to be able to manage that with the one arm there unless you holster it, which I guess you can fit it under your belt or through that sash there.
Yep, I'm gonna Red Ferret. I got the silverware in the belt.
Traven will hand you a fairly nice tray, or like at least a passable metal tray with the meal laid out on top of it. It says, if I don't know if the captain would quite want him to would want to distribute blood wine to the prisoner as of yet, so maybe for now, let's just keep it with this. I can see to it that water is brought along for him. Suppose, doctor, if you want to check on him, that's always an option. I can give you a refill and an extra glass.
I can go too.
Well, however you sort it out, I'm going to get everything else cleaned up here, so, and I guess set for the next meal whenever and whoever we've got. Man, I can't help but think we're going to have so many new crew here, new faces, more mouths to feed. It's going to be an interesting chance for some creative opportunities with this. I'm actually kind of excited.
Oh God, we're really screwed. The GM's running a PC in NPC mode, and they're like ecstatic. We're doomed.
I'm doing what feels natural. So.
Yep.
Yep.
We're doomed.
I mean, it seems very in character for Traven. So.
Oh yeah, it does.
Yep. Okay, so we are going to go theater of the mind for this. Azek, you are on your way with the meal in tow, and let me just make sure that I have all of the proper characters here. Let's see, so we have Azek. Rev, do you want Kresic to be along for this, or would you prefer to have, alternatively, you could have Zional's thinking about, I suppose?
No, Zional's digging for gems,
I've
Is that
got
what
you.
we call
as
it?
the kids say.
All right.
That Gen Z slang coming in clutch.
Don't make me punch you.
I'm having to withhold from dirty jokes, so.
You know, just...
Oh, never hold back on the dirty jokes. Never. It ends up backing up, and you have a problem, much bigger problem later on.
Then you have a dirty joke enema, and it's just a mess.
I'm spending 2 threat to end this scene here.
And that's why we don't make dirty jokes.
As a matter of fact, we're not even on the ship anymore. We're out on. Well, you can have your moment on the. You can have your moment with the Creel later, but right now we're following more Tabak.
I love it. All part of my plan to get the GM to spend threat.
My God. I like how you went from dirty jokes to now back to Tabak's bedroom.
No, it's actually en route to the manor. The crisp, cool air of of the now late morning greets you about as pleasantly as you can ever remember it doing. It's obviously been some years since you've properly just appreciated a simple walk through this, like, on the planet.
Yep.
And it's, there's something very nice and reassuring about it. Along your path, trotting alongside would be a one of the fauna that your planet is so well known for. One of a modest, if still relatively young age, one still somewhat finding its footing, or perhaps out on the hunt. Cheshire is not yet back from their wandering. But you find the small one trotting alongside you.
Chasing something that got probably some bug that flew up from the grass.
Yeah. We've established there are very nice and shiny bugs that fly about from time to time.
Nice, shiny, some grow very large and dangerous.
Yes.
I love gin bugs.
But you're not long alone on this path either, for near the entrance to the city stands your brother.
Ah, brother, there you are.
It is good to see you again, Tabak. Brother.
I may owe you an apology.
Not before I must admit my own doings here. He walks alongside you. I do know, really, I understand what I did was overly presumptuous. And I am sorry for that. It is not a drive to see you put out of place, but more the feeling of your absence and the same helplessness that we've felt at other times. I could not help but try to take the initiative and take an opportunity when it presented itself. It would not have gone without, it would not have gone fully approved without your knowledge here. I hope you do understand that. But wanted to see how far I could press things before, rather see if I could get the most advantageous deal possible. Knowing our forebears, it would be easy to, if we're not careful, find ourselves in a dreadful situation.
In a worse situation than we're in now.
Yes.
I was gone a very long time, brother. I used a lot of our resources to get that hunk of junk flying again. I've only just barely replaced what I used. I wanted to rely on my own resources. I didn't want to tie myself to another house. I thought it the only honorable thing to do. You chose a different path. And yes, you were presumptuous. But you did well. And so I will not be killing you today.
That is good. As much interesting activity you've taken to in the stars, you might actually have had some practice with those mek'leths of yours.
I have.
To think you might actually win a battle against me. He meets your glance with a mischievous grin.
And I turn to him. put my hands on my shoulders, wait for him to put his hands on my shoulders, and
Oh.
then we do a headbutt,
Yeah.
and it really, really hurts.
Yep, because you guys
'Cause
don't
we-
have Brack lol.
We don't have those, but we do it anyway, and then we sit there going, "Oh, that was not smart."
Well, you may not die stupidly, brother, but at least we are still entitled to the occasional foolish act.
Yes, we are. Yeah, I'm on my way back to our house. Going to spend some time with my wife.
Oh, well, I had hoped that somebody had reached out to you. Somebody's got to get the comms fixed. Actually, well, that was part of the reason I'd come here. I'd heard that your ship communication wasn't answering. The Hashok has been reaching out. He wanted to actually see about meeting us this morning to sign the agreement. I have told him you were momentarily indisposed, pending further response, and that you would get back to him.
What his hurry is.
These Shatloth, they are an impatient. They seem a bit of an impatient bunch, but as widespread as they are through the Empire, their guild wields great power. Suppose they feel they have better places to be.
I have one question for you, brother. Did you make the offer to them, or did they come to you?
He pauses for a moment. I had some contacts that were speaking about, that were mentioning that the Shatloth were dispatching some exploratory commerce vessels. Apparently, they have been, in the months since the feud restarted between houses Katoh and Mag, they'd been reaching out very quickly to try and find their alternate starport, as it were. It seems as though there's a great deal of battles on, really throughout their holdings. Closest to us, the House Mag had even launched a fairly large strike on the Hosh Shamar system.
Okay, Mr. GM, who holds that system?
That is nominally under the protection of House Katoh.
Mm-hmm.
But they are, like, the world is still a ways distant from you. It's a little more kind of in the interior. I would say that, and I'll say that I envision, or from what we've discussed, I kind of envisioned Mektor as, like, on the very fringe or very border on a part of, like, that little northern salient that kind of heads near the triangle and,
Yep.
like, very near the powers beyond that, the Federation and the Romulans. I would say Holshamar is kind of on the other end of that salient, still a little bit more in the interior, however.
Has my house had dealings with either of the houses that are currently involved in? And I'm assuming it's only these two larger houses that are engaged and probably bringing in vassals.
They're probably, they've got some combat going, and yeah, there are a few vassal houses that might be dealing with, that might be joining in. There could
Have we any history with the two big houses who are fighting each other?
I'll generally say House Katoh is, it might have had some dealings in the past, but the poor fortunes of your house mean that you haven't really been doing much of anything for them. They are an older, great house, and they are also steadily on the decline themselves. House Mag is growing in status, and I doubt that you would have had much dealings with them before.
Okay. they're an upstart house, and the other house has been around for a while.
Yep.
Okay. So I don't have any direct dealings currently, but in the past with one of them. Okay. Just wanting to know that.
Yeah. So I took advantage of the opportunity and started. Through my contacts, I made arrangements to start the conversation, and tried to see where it would go. And the spaceport option seemed like a boon, quite frankly.
It does. The terms they offer are astoundingly good, which still worries me in some small part.
It does.
As does the offer of massive loans, which if they're if our fees don't cover the loan, that could add up quickly and bankrupt our house. So this offer depends a great deal on how well they do.
Yes. And I will admit it was the greatest risk I took and the hardest point in the negotiations that I tried to fight on. Alas, I could not get them to steer away from that, so I at least managed to work them into a position where the terms are as generous as possible, or gives us the most lead time. If nothing else, with what we could invest to restore the port, and perhaps more so, build out the fleet, we might be able to navigate them without it. Not easily.
Without their massive loans, yes. Just their fees and initial offers might be enough to get us to a good point.
Yes.
Much better point than we're in now. Brother, I do congratulate you. You've done well for our house. As long as the Hashuk are not the Hashuk, the guild are reliable enough. Their haste in wanting to finalize this deal is surprising. I told Hashuk that I would give him a reply today. It is still before midday. But let us go. Let us hurry back to the house. I will communicate with him.
Indeed. As that happens, turn that up a little more. There we go. The communications on your wrist communicator set off.
Yes? Luchne.
Yeah, Captain, my lord. The comms controller says, the vessel, sorry, lost my train of thought there. Sorry, let me start that again. My lord, the Shatloff vessel sends additional hails, requesting updates on our status.
I'll be back at the manse in 5 minutes. I will contact them from there.
Yes, my lord. Okay. So, let time proceed a little there, and now that I have thoroughly bleached my brain of whatever the conversation was before then, let's go visit the Theater of the Mind, back with Azek and Kresik, and anyone else who wanted to be involved in that scene.
So, what can you tell me about our little patient here? Or our not patient, prisoner.
Patient. Yes. He is Creel.
For your reference there, Joe, if Azek were of the more traditional Klingon persuasion, he might look down on that a little bit. Creel are known as... they have a reputation as honorless scavengers who do not seek battle for themselves, but rather just basically clean up after battles that take place in and around Klingon space.
Scavengers.
He also survived against the other resident of this ship, which is impressive.
Okay. Why are we keeping him around?
No one told me not to. And he's a patient. They asked me to heal him, and I did. It's what I do.
And you are quite good at it. Our Trill friend definitely appreciates the hard work you put into it. Okay, out of character. This isn't the guy that I beamed in the head with my knee, is it?
I don't believe so.
No, it's not the Nausicaan.
Okay, thank you.
The Nausicaan is dead. You killed him.
You killed the Nausicaan. Remember, he died from complications.
Yeah, my brain was trying to wrap around that. I'm sorry, but okay.
Quite all right. You guys approach the basically, for lack of a better term, the broom closet that you have stashed him in. And one of you, I'll presume, opens the door. More likely Kresic, if Azek is still holding the tray of food.
I've done my best to make the broom closet look as nice as possible. This is a medical holding cell now, and not just some prisoners.
Yep.
Poop pot.
Yeah. Azek, inside you see, as with most Creel, he is a lantern-jawed, very broad-shouldered individual, very top-heavy musculature against very long, spindly legs. Despite Kresic's very effective medical work, there's signs of quite considerable scarring along his face, and eyes that just seem to go... they seem to be vacant until you open the doors and he looks up in your direction.
What is his name?
His name is Nogri.
Very good. The Silent Assassins. I like it. Nogri. You are well today?
Yes, Doctor. Yes, I am still well. I am in better shape than I expect to be, and I don't suppose that is food he is carrying.
It is.
Oh, good. Yes, Klingon. Are you the captain of this ship?
Co-captain for now.
Oh, so you are kind of boss then.
What now?
Well, not co-captain, but second in command.
Oh, you put in good word for boss then. Well,
yes.
He stands up. I will say then, my name is Nogri. I have been a hand serving on Creel ships for many years, and I think I have come to understand more closely the unfortunate miscommunication which has put us in difficult straits. I would very much appreciate the opportunity to defend myself and speak on my behalf, and perhaps offer my skill sets to you and your crew. I have a great deal of engineering experience. I am also very proficient in combat under most circumstances. I am not used to giant reptile men, but I can get there as well.
So what good are you for us now? Why should we?
I can bring information. I have anything useful there. Let's see. I could be technically proficient. I am perfectly prepared to showcase any of these skills how you require, though I would respectfully ask none of them involve fighting the larger one. No, not him, he says, gesturing to Kresic. Very large one.
So you can get us information.
Yes, this real information networks are among some of the finest. We know great sites for salvage. We watch ship movements very carefully. They can find out things that can get you there. Most crucially, I can make sure that my people, well, I can't make them understand your the complete difference with your larger friends, but I can present you a way to make sure that this business is resolved without any of us killing you. Or you having to kill us.
I was gonna say, good luck with that first part.
He's had good luck so far.
I'll discuss it with the captain.
Oh, please do talk with Busman. I know that times are tough for this ship. No offense to ship or crew, but however difficult it is, I can make myself very useful. I am here despite tough times.
The Targ pits can always use a good scrubbing.
He shrugs his shoulders a little bit at that, and as he takes his food, he pulls it out, and the colorful ray. Or maybe not so tough times. This is very interesting looking meal. Do you always eat this way, or is this is there a celebration?
I was asked to give it to you. I didn't ask any questions.
Well, I guess you've done your bit, boss. Well, not quite boss man, but very important man. Is that spoon for me as well?
I will. Yes. I grab the spoon and I kind of fiddle with it for just a second, and I say, "If you want meals to continue, you will behave, right?"
Oh, yes, I know how to do that. My people, we know value of community and participation, managing collective.
What do you know about the weaknesses of your vessels?
I know that would depend vessel to vessel, he says. We don't exactly have standard fleet.
So, if they were to try to come after us, what type of ship would they most likely bring at us?
He starts eating food very slowly as he ponders over responses to the interrogation. If they could track your vessel, which they don't, they would know what they are looking for. More likely smaller intercept vessels. Probably group. You were better off making for one of their stations and settling the matter. Word travels quick among my people. We learn the hard way which Klingons to trust and which ones not to. I am sure you are one of an honorable sort.
All right, that's all the information I need for now. I will talk to the captain. See if we can't improve your arrangements here.
No, I appreciate it. Can I call you anything other than first officer or? Suppose. Well, Captain. Well, boss not here. You are boss, so. Anything I can call you besides that?
I am Ezek.
Oh, well, Ezek. I am Nogri, and I trust you will put in the good word.
I leave him be.
Okay. Let's see. Kresik, do you also follow, or do you want to talk to Nogri at all? Otherwise, check on
Yeah, I just do my routine medical scan just to make sure he's healing and on the mend.
Yep.
Um,
You do this running the scanner over his scarred face as he's like shoveling food with the overly large spoon that Azek has supplied him. Seriously, this is very good food. Is there some sort of occasion I should be aware of, or do you just celebrate not dying? Might help me congratulate bossmen if I know what I'm saying.
I'm sure it would.
He kind of looks at you expectantly.
He's not going to say anything back.
Stares at it.
But he is just going to sit down, like, not like blocking the way, but kind of just like hunker down in the closet, and anything other than classified ship secrets, he's happy to talk about.
Fair enough.
Basically, he's just going to wait for Nagri to finish eating. Then he's going to take away the tray, take it back to the galley, close the door.
So, Nagri will savor the food, just prolong Kressik's presence there. There you get good food, quite the same good food out this, like this. Not a lot of Klingons willing to trade their freshest produce, so very difficult to get this. I would have wondered what it was like to taste fresh produce of our own. We've only been able to grow it.
No.
What's that?
He just said, "You aren't."
Well, we have some limited hydroponics on stations, but I lost. He looks a bit wistfully and thinks a moment before saying, my people have long been out in space, left our world very harsh, long time ago. For a long time we stayed that way, just out here, but there was a brief time when we prepared another world. We found one, and we settled there. It was hard. We worked at it, but it would have been ours.
That is admirable work. What happened?
His wistful look turns deeply bitter. Like I said, learn lessons. Which Klingons to trust and which ones not to.
I see.
All of it poisoned and dead. But it is in the past now.
And which Klingons did you learn not to trust?
Well, generally, any with a big house. Foolish bunch, but just as sure as our rage burns like the stars. They never take word of Shalaf with anything but disdain.
I see.
He scrapes the last bit of food away, and noticing that second glass of water, don't suppose you could hand that over. Voice is a bit parched. Lot of work.
Please, take it. You have been most enlightening.
Nogri and the GM will both hydrate, and say, it's what I do. And I'll leave you be.
All right. Very interesting. Don't trust the guys the captain are making a deal with.
Mhm.
Wow.
Yep. So, let's see. Kresic, anything else you want to do here?
Not currently. He's just gonna wait until he's done eating and drinking, and then just collect up all the plates and stuff and take them back to the kitchen.
Very good, very good. All right. So,
As he leaves, Azek has been waiting out in the hall, and he walks up when the door is shut. He'll kind of walk right next to Kresic and just, how well do you think we can trust his information if we do put him to work for us?
I do not know. He is eager for information of our own. I am not sure if he aims to simply please or to find avenues to attack.
That was my concern as well. The captain is far better at reading people than I am, unfortunately. I'm better with technology.
Can I retroactively do a read roll on him using my psychoanalysis focus from that time that I spent with him?
I will allow you, since you're using that focus, you can make that an insight and medicine check.
And what's the difficulty?
Difficulty.
Or is it contested?
I don't think he would honestly contest on this, so let's call this a difficulty of 1. Okay, 2 successes. That means you earn back a point of momentum. Near as you can tell, the Creel, he has been fairly forthright, it would seem, after the initial shock of everything. whether it was nearly encountering his death or better understanding the truth behind Dar, seems to have been a lot from the process, but he might be he seemed to have realized the situation is more complicated, and that like his attitude seems to have shifted very much towards survival, and in that sense, trying to rectify what might be a bit of a misunderstanding. So, he might be burnishing himself a bit. He might augment some things that he says, but the general gist of his intention seems sincere. Even if everything else he were saying were a problem, or even if you couldn't rule that out, the little bit of the background between him and the guild seems to be something earnest.
Gotcha. So basically, his survival instinct is very strong right now.
Yes.
Gotcha. I do not think he will betray us unless given a reason for him to do so. He cares very much about his own survival. He also has a particular hatred of this guild the captain seems intent on joining.
We'll have to bring this stuff up with the captain and see what he thinks.
Try to think up a better way to tell him than this enemy that we prisoner happened to mention the same guild that you are considering to join. I feel like that would be a less than desirable approach.
Agreed.
Well, I need to take these back to Traven and then get back to my work.
Yep. Thank you for your insight. I appreciate it.
Of course.
Yep. So, I think we'll cut ahead some hours here, and as the day grows a little later, I want to give everybody the opportunity to, if somebody wants to either take an active scene of some sort or otherwise interact with someone, then take that opportunity. Obviously, Tabak has the signing ceremony to do later, or rather, at least Tabak has the deal to sign later on. So, question goes to initiative or anything of the sort. Who would like to do what now? Well, don't everybody jump in
Me,
at once.
no, okay. I've got nothing else planned at the moment. Nothing else I think that Tavok needs to do.
All right.
So I'm good. I'm just gonna put that out there so you don't have to think about it.
Gotcha.
I'm also good. I've had a ton of scene time, so I will disappear into the background, fade into the shadows.
Yep. So I guess with that, obviously, Raldar, you weren't necessarily around for any of that, so unless Ezek sought your counsel, then you wouldn't know necessarily to intervene. Some of the initiative, if there's anything you want to do, then we can fit that in. Otherwise, Ezek, it sounds as though this might be something that you have to take initiative on, if anything.
All right. So we're gonna talk about the prisoner, or what? What do we need to do?
Well, it's considering basically, do you trust the Creel enough to feel like the captain should know about this, and
Yes.
do you question the deal and the judgment that the captain and his brother has made, or like
Where's the captain at now?
the captain, in the hours that have passed, he is at the manor still. So, he's a bit of a walk away. You could beam close by, but not all the way into the manor, because there are transport inhibitors around that place.
Yeah, I can just cue my way through that. Just kidding. Ezek is a cue, would just be horrible. I guess I could type up a report and send it to him. Maybe would he have access to like a pad or something?
He would, and I have to say it's just hilarious image of Asik with one hand and like the square rimmed glasses, just typing into a keyboard one bit at a time with his remaining arm.
Yeah, that is pretty funny. Click.
Come on now, the Klingons would have good text to type. Because nobody likes typing.
He gets yelled at. It's like those old. You guys are old enough to remember the old keyboard instructors when you looked at your keyboard and they'd slap your hands with a ruler.
No, I never took a typing class.
Oh, good stuff. All right, so Azek drafts his report that he'll have ready for later on. I guess while all that's being figured out, let me remove this around here.
I can kind of improv the letter if you want.
Oh yeah, if you'd like to do that, and if you want to have that arrive with Tabak as soon as that, like when we transition to the next scene, then we can make that a thing. Okay.
Captain Azek, or Captain Tabak.
Yeah, hold off on that letter
Okay.
there. I think that the performance should come as we're kind of in the next scene here.
Gotcha.
So, some time has passed. Tabak, you have had you've had some quality time with Morati. We've come back in on a tasteful moment where everyone is dressed. We'll say you're in your room in the manor, and as you are straightening up whatever clothing you have, whatever formal degree.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
Let me interrupt real quick.
Yeah.
We come to Tabak's quarters, and we do like they did in the original series, which is the closest they ever got to insinuating anything. You close in, and Tabak is putting on his boots.
I like it. I like the poll for that. So, yeah, you are presently putting on your boots. Morati comes back on the screen, fully dressed, greeting you with, warm feelings and looks all around. She does say, I know you will be spending quite a bit of time refitting that vessel of yours once this deal goes through, but I do hope that we can afford to take a little more time for ourselves.
That wife is the goal.
She smiles, and yeah, you manage to you finish kitting yourselves back once more. No sooner than you do that than there is another beep on the communicator.
Och nay.
Oh, sorry, brother. The Hashok had messaged again, and he offered to bring down a cask of apparently the best vintage that they had on board for the festivities. I hope you don't mind. I accepted their offer.
I will not turn away good blood wine.
Yes. Granted, I believe they used it as a way to try to insinuate the question of when they're doing it. Hey, Gleecha,
It is this
these...
evening. This evening. We had already agreed earlier today, after we walked back from the landing field.
Oh, yes, I apologize. I must not have... the GM did not remember this.
You didn't read the script, that's what happened. That's okay.
So I'll refrain from making the Saturday Night Live reference I wanted to make right now. Anyway, says he will bring down a most fine vintage.
I will look forward to it.
With that, he will close the comm line. No. Setting
No?
out. Yeah. Setting off from that, you gaze out from the view from what I imagine is a higher part of the manor, something that can overlook things. The inflow of resources will definitely help Takur's fort, a place that has seen many better days in the past, but has long since become extremely dilapidated.
Seeing this place alive again would be good.
That I think we can both agree to. And perhaps with all this, we'll also have time for more of the next batch. She says as a cat walks through, and she picks it up. Like hands kind of under its front paws. Well, this one's getting quite big now.
They are breeding well.
Yes. I'm sure she'll have that sooner than we expected. Hey, good child. Husband, have you considered relaying some of that communications to your first officer?
I'm about to consider that myself, yes. Push the button, noch näher.
Captain, I was asked me to relay message to you. Transferring file to a nearby pad. Or transferring file through your communication system.
Fine.
Yep.
He hangs up, or whatever.
Yeah.
Goes to the pad, in frustration. Goes
Yep.
to the pad, document.
Yep. Taybok puts on the same type of square glasses. Anyway, Azek's letter reads,
Captain, I aim to inform you that we have a prisoner on board. What race was he?
Creel.
Creel. We have a Creel on board who has some information about the guild you were dealing with, which was kind of shocking and might be a little advantageous for us, possibly. Said that he could get us some information, work for us if we would allow him to. You are much better breed of character than I am. Of course, that's why you chose me as your first officer. But I'm a little hesitant. I don't know if his intentions are good, and to better the ship, or if he has ulterior motives. I'd like to bring him to you, or have you come to the ship and talk to him to get a better read on the situation. But I thought that you should know what is going on. Currently, Cheshire is sitting on the captain's chair, looking very cat-like. I don't know how else to describe it. She seems to have a thing for an earther music called AC/DC. And I've seen Vopri bobbing his head. And as it kind of trails off into descriptions of what each bridge member crew is doing, and then he ends the.
I think it's just going full Grandpa Simpson at this point.
Pretty much.
And Tabak is seriously considering having to kill Azek and get a new first officer.
You can just see it on Tabak's face, like the that curled, like the curl of his eyebrows. It's like the simultaneously confused, disgusted look. It's like when Gowron had to listen to Quark's presentation.
Yeah, and just the slack jawed, huh? Oh yeah, of course I understand. Yeah,
Man, that butterfly effect really hitting him from releasing my clone.
And every once in a while, there is a bit of information that's very important to you, but it's all mixed in there, so you have to read through the whole thing to get the information that's there.
Yep. Right past the, somewhere past the tying an onion to your belt, which was the style of the time.
Yep.
Oh, we have good times on this ship.
P.S. We're out of materials to make gawk pockets.
Oh,
And then end it.
oh, some good news at least. Good. Wife, I sometimes wonder if I've made certain decisions responsibly and intelligently.
Oh.
By all the dead gods. We have several. Go ahead, wife.
Most of the time you are better at avoiding the foolish decisions, but one cannot rule it out. What troubles you?
Let you read this report, but it rambles. We have a prisoner on board my ship. I knew about him. My crew have been dealing with him. He is Creel. And he claims to have knowledge of the guild. We have several hours before they show up for the signing ceremony. I am going to pay a quick visit to my ship and see what this thing has to say.
Well,
I'll return shortly. I'll have the ship use the transporters to get me there and back.
use your best judgment, husband, although it would be a very strange thing indeed for you to come back with a Creel that you would actually listen to. Anyone would listen to.
I will hear what it has to say. Again, I have my own doubts about this guild. The Earthers have an expression that I have learned of. If something sounds too good, it usually is. I will take any information I can get, whether good or bad. I will listen to it at least. I'll return shortly.
Very good. Let's see. Before we go over to that scene, there's there's another matter that is kind of lingering that I think needs to be stopped. Let me ask, Zionol, for your purposes, do you think that anywhere along the way he would have gone through Vopri for any communications type stuff?
Probably.
Okay.
And he would have paid quite handsomely for it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he wouldn't have. He would have made Croker pay quite handsomely for it, but...
Yes. I have... So I do have another scene that needs to be done. We are running very short of time here, but I think that it is worth setting up. So I actually have reason, Raldar, to call you in as well for this, if you're
yes.
good for that.
I am great for that, yes.
Very good. So, Raldar, amidst the quiet work that you're doing in engineering, there's not... honestly, there isn't much to do there right now, and you know that with the captain's deal impending, the ship's about to undergo a major overhaul anyway, so... you know, anything you do would be very small. Thus, it's, I suppose, a relative mercy that Vopri calls you over the bridge comm line. It's, Mr. Aldar, could you come to the bridge, please?
On my way.
And so, our scene picks up with you in the coming through the door to the bridge. Vopri is sitting at the console, very nearby among the others. Azek is in the... Azek is probably in the command chair. Croker, we'll say...
No, Cheshire is in the command chair. I am standing next to it.
Cheshire is... very well. Cheshire at some point has come back to the ship. And... Azek is telling Croker some sort of story. Croker appears slightly angry, but maybe a little more sedate than you saw him earlier. Whether because of Azek or because of the passage of time, you don't know for sure. Zionol is also in the room with, standing very close to Vopri. Hello, Raldar. I have been conducting some sensor operations, he says, tucking his pockets full, tucking down some Darsecs that are in a very full, jangly pocket now. I have received some requests to add some, look for some information, and I am simply trying to, how best to say, I am doing my best to accomplish the task here, but it is just, there have been some minor communication issues.
You want me to run a diagnostic on the communication systems, then?
I would appreciate that.
Alright. Out of my way.
Vopri, my friend, when did these communications issues start?
It was a little ways after the we had sat down and began our modifications.
Curious.
I can run a temporary I have been getting a great deal of static, and I am having trouble boosting that. Allow me to run communications for you.
Wait. Hold on. I do want communications. You have timestamps of the first communications issues, right? I'm sure you've been keeping excellent logs of this stuff.
Vopri noticeably, swallows. and such that it wrinkles as other smooth, sinewy skin. There was some downtime after we landed. I may not have precise info, but it was post-diagnostics. I am sorry.
Okay, it's fine. Don't even worry about it. I understand. You have to get off this ship and enjoy your life, too.
I have not left the ship. There are Klingons out there.
Well, that's a crime. You should come with... Oh, I actually haven't left the ship either. Who am I kidding? They would actually kill me on sight if anybody recognized me. I think. I don't feel like testing it. Anyways.
Vopri just shrinks down, and with that, let's see. Make sure the tab isn't muted. Okay. Yep, he will go ahead and click on a button, and try to tweak volume as I go here in case this is a little loud, but we'll play this. Some of the channel is jammed. Imperial Enforcement Solicitation. All vessels that have passed within 16 lochans of the Klingon system from 31st day of Suit.
You want a good deal? That's no big deal. Hot pockets.
Face down a death worthy of song. Let all who are true and loyal to the House Kalorn
Sound went off.
show their valor in this hour and join us in the struggle. I've been running broad spectrum attempts to pick up information for reasons, but I have been having more interference than usual.
Raldor's eyes has definitely widened at the sounds of this message.
If we could boost power, I might be able to isolate some information and then be able to proceed for your purposes. I shouldn't have said. He places his hands over his mouth as he looks to you, Zional.
Whatever you need to do, just do it.
This is priority one. I need this
See?
message cleared.
See, even my good friend Raldar agrees. Pass you on the back.
What are you going on about?
You want to get information. That's so valuable, so rare to find among Klingons these days.
Raldar, if you want to attempt a task in order to manage the comms here, I will call this, let's make it control plus engineering. Somebody can also roll for the ship with communications and engineering as well.
May I use a momentum for an extra die?
We've got a pool full of it.
I will gladly steal some momentum for an extra die. All right.
Okay. And that is 3 successes there, so you meet difficulty. Would I be correct to presume you are isolating the last segment?
Yes.
Okay. So, as Vopri and Zional chatter, there is silent work, Raldar's silent work as he taps away at the controls, boosting...
He's working as quickly as possible.
Yes. His scaly limbs moving at a speed that you haven't seen before, and once satisfied with where the communications are, with the segment isolated, you attune to the signal, and thus over the speakers.
This is Qulpu of the House of Kalorn. My banner fleet has met in battle with House Smog over the world of Hol Samar. These first weeks have been ours, but victory has cost us many brave souls and supplies, and they have many more of both. I do not know how long my forces can withstand theirs, but I will fight until the end. My message may not be heard in time for forces to come and change the course of battle, but glory awaits us as we face down a death worthy of song. Let all who are true and loyal to the House Kalorn show their valor in this hour, and join us in the struggle.
The message cuts off. And that is better, I suppose.
Oh, my damned brother. Damn him. Ugh. I need to speak to the captain. What did he convince my uncle to do?
And with that, Raldar turns away. And I think that as, like, an appropriate... moments later, Vopri will hear the communications, and Raldar, you will hear it too, from the captain requesting to beam back. So, Mr. Croker, you are needed in the transporter room.
Oh, so now he needs me. Well, let's see how he feels if I weren't where I'm supposed to be.
Croker, focus on task.
I'll go get the captain. I want to speak to him as quickly as possible.
Hey, wait, don't I'll go too. I'll come with.
Yeah, so Croker runs after you, and we leave that scene and find ourselves in the transporter room where Tabak.
Such a pretty set. I love this new set.
I appreciate the kind words. I worked hard on it. Minutes later, Tabak, you materialize on the transporter pad, and in the room you find Croker, looking that same combination of anxious, irritated, and I don't know, still somehow a little bit warm. But more to the point and more unusually, you find your chief engineer, Raldar, standing before you, and ready, I think, for a last line of the session.
We're going to need to talk, Captain. I may need to request a leave of absence. My house calls for me.
And I think, yep, that'll be where we leave off tonight. So, yeah, that in the recording is where we will part with everybody. Thank you so much for joining us here in the recording, and we will catch you all next week. See you then. Kapla.